everyone, this is Anna from Koala Soap, and today we're going to be making a gemstone soap with holiday Christmas colors. Kaylin has a Secret Santa thing coming up, so we need to get started on these. So we're going to be using stardust micas, we're going to be using red strawberry, we're going to be using tall green, and we're going to be using King Midas gold. I'm also going to be using some clear glycerin, and I'm going to go ahead and get this melted down and we'll start mixing our colors. Okay, and for the scent today we're going to be using Barnhouse Blue Pumpkin Patch. This is what Kaylin wanted to do. It doesn't smell like pumpkins, it smells like a real subdued cinnamon, so it's actually, I actually kind of like it. I'm not a big fan of pumpkin smelling stuff, but this is actually quite pleasant smelling. So these are at about 140. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to add in our colorant. I'm going to get King Midas over here out of the way. We will add our alcohol first. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and add in our colorant. I haven't used tall green before, so we're going to check it out here and see how it looks. Okay, so far so good. And then we're going to use red strawberry. I'm probably going to have to add a little bit more alcohol to this. Okay. Okay, we'll get those all stirred in. Okay, we'll see, check our temperatures. Okay, so 139. So we're going to go ahead and start mixing these in. And if you want to make them darker, you can. Now, I have this mold. It came in a pack of two. So one was a small ball mold and the other one was this, and I thought, well, I don't know if I'd ever use a square mold, but actually I've been experimenting with a lot of soaps and I actually do like it. I like it a lot. You can do a lot of stuff with this. Okay, so with the funnel mugs or funnel cups, it's kind of, you know, you can do this. You know, you can pour, stop, pour, stop. You're still going to overfill. You just can't help it sometimes with these. Or what you can do is what I do, what drives Kaylin a little nuts, is I'll take my spatula, I'll run it down there. And we'll run the spatula down again. And we're going to make two sets of embeds. We're going to make obviously the red and the green. And then here, I guess you have to be a little bit more careful. But now you can see why these funnel cups are so important. Oops. All right, not a big deal. We'll just squirt it into wherever else could use it there. Okay, So while that's setting, the next one we're going to do is we're going to use this mold. I don't have another square one. And I'm just going to pour our red in. Okay. And we'll give all of these a squirt of alcohol. And then screw this back on. And then we'll just go ahead and wait for them to set. Okay, so these are done. So what we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to melt a little bit more clear glycerin and add some more of the tall green so that we have something when we're pouring in. So I'm going to go ahead and start warming this up now so that we can start working with these embeds. Okay, so this is melted. This is at about 165 right now. So we're gonna, before we even add our fragrance in, we're just gonna let that cool down. So what I did was I took some more of the tall green, I mixed it with alcohol here, and I'm also adding a little bit of Stardust Mica's jade green, because I want it to look just a little bit different. Okay, so we'll go ahead, while this is cooling down, and go ahead and add our colorant in. Put that off to the side. Okay, so while we're waiting for that, we're going to go ahead and unmold these. I don't know if we can do it faster. Okay, so now they're all unmolded. I'm going to take a knife, and on the squares I really don't need to do much. I'll probably just cut like a little bit diagonally, and I'll just put them in here. And if you have any excess, try to get it off there. I want to kind of make it an even ratio of red to green. And it doesn't have to be perfectly diagonal. It just, you know, you can do anything. You can do straight, you can do one side bigger than the other. So that's how you're going to do these. And then on the red, I'm trying to save my extra soap there. Same thing. You know, just, and you don't want the pieces to be too big. So this is a good size right here. Okay, so this is now at 153. What I did was I have some left, so I'm going to save that for another project. And what I've done is I've taken my smaller tester mold and I've filled it up with the embeds to about how far I would want it up. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take a Ziploc bag and I'm going to put these embeds in there. Okay. Now what I'm going to do right now, I've already put my a little bit of the scent in. I'm going to go ahead and just pour a small amount on the bottom. Okay, and I'm going to want that to set. The reason being is because what we're going to do with this next, I'm actually going to be putting some mica in here and shaking it around. And I don't want there to be flat parts where the mica just rubs off. So I kind of want it just to be in the soap. So we're going to let that sit for just a second, and then we'll be back and we'll start mixing our mica. Okay, so we've let that cool down for a little bit. I'm going to take the King Midas from Stardust. It's a real shimmery gold. And I'm just going to take a little spoonful and I'm going to put it, I don't think I'm going to need any more, but you never know. And I'm just going to kind of shake it around. A little bit does kind of go a long way. And of course, if you think you need to add a little bit more, you can do whatever you want. And I think I need a little bit more on that side. Well, I can not see anymore. Okay, we're going to let that sit for just a second while I get this all out of here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray with alcohol. I'm going to mix my soap here and make sure it's not getting too thick on me. I'm just going to put that there. And slowly, I'm going to start pouring this into here. I squirt with alcohol. I just don't want the soap to go directly on the embeds and wipe that mica off. We may need some more soap. I'm not sure yet. Yeah, we're going to need some more soap. But that is okay. So what I want to leave a little bit of space up top. So I'm going to try to keep these as flat as possible. And I can put a few more in here. I kind of want them flat if I can do it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to melt a little bit more mica, or I'm sorry, a little bit more soap, just a little bit, and then we'll be, actually, you know what? I'm going to use these embeds. There you go. I'm going to use these embeds that we had left, so I will be back. Okay, so the new soap is at about 145. We're going to go ahead and spray again with some alcohol, and then I'm going to start pouring. I did add a little bit more of that jade from Stardust micas in, so hopefully it'll match the color on the bottom. Okay. Squirt that with a little bit of alcohol. We will grab, actually I think I'm going to leave it like, no, we'll move it this way. We'll grab Gavin's good old books. The reason this isn't put into a wood box is because this is a small mold and I don't have a box for it. It won't fit in the other one because it's too small. So we just do this and just let it sit. Okay, we'll be ready for the unmolding shortly. I want to make a little bit of a topping for this, so I'm going to go ahead and mix this clear glycerin and put some gold mica on it, and we'll be right back. Okay, so our glycerin is at about 150. I'm going to go ahead and mix the gold mica in. I'm kind of wanting to match what we put around the embeds. That's the plan. And so what I need to do for this is I really need this to cool down a lot because we're essentially just going to be placing it on. But I want it to be almost with the skin so that we can add some dimension to it. So we're going to go ahead and let this cool down. It's in the 150s right now. When it gets to about 130, I'll add some more scent into it and then we'll go from there. Okay, our glycerin is at 124 right now and I've been stirring it. It is getting a bit of a skin. I didn't leave much room on top of this soap for a topping, but we're going to just see if we can make it work. So I'm just going to use a knife, make some little marks here to help the soap grab on, spray it with alcohol, and I'm actually going to spoon it on. I don't want to pour it on because it'll just pour over. I really just didn't leave much room here. So what I'm doing is, as the skin thickens, I'm kind of scooping it out. I keep putting alcohol, and then I'm kind of just adding here. It's hardening up nicely, but at least it just makes it a little bit more interesting. You know me, I kind of like to do stuff on top of the soaps there. And then I think this will be it. I'm just gonna do a squirt, and anything that's wet, I'm just gonna do a little drizzle on top to try to seal that in. Just a real small drizzle. I don't know, we'll see how it turns out. Okay, we'll wait for it to dry and we'll unmold it. Okay, it's done. I don't really show the unmolding because it takes, I wrote how much cups and all that on the bottom of here. It takes a lot of work, and you have to keep pushing, and it takes a few minutes to do, and it's a lot of time. It's just because it's a small mold, it takes longer. And so here is our product unmolded. The top is very steady, and you can kind of see how it looks there. We're going to go ahead and start the cut. I'm still getting used to this cutter. And there you go. Now, if you have some areas here where if there's mica that you think might rub off, because remember, we just coated it with mica, you can just rub it off. It'll be okay. We'll put that there. And actually, this top is a little too high, so I don't know if that's going to fit or not, but we'll see if we can just keep cutting. There you go, and you can kind of see the little gold around the colors. The greens are not popping unless you look and you see an outline. So we probably should have just used all red in here because I was trying to make it a nice little holiday soap. So it was kind of hard for me to figure out what other color I could do without messing up what the design was. That was a little too high, so, well, let's see here. And there you go. This one, because of this little piece here, it's not fully dry yet. I'm just going to take it off. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it and cut it by hand here, sideways. Better. There you go. And then our last cut. Okay, and there you go. Okay, so we're starting our holiday soap collection. Thanks for watching.